Somebody is using church Wi-Fi to download porn. The name of the Wi-Fi is Jesus something. I'm not saying it's okay to download porn anywhere. But is the audacity for me that Jesus is your Wi-Fi, your boy. There's no fear of God. How to break free from fear. I want to start with the distinction between the fear of God and the fear for God. There is a clear distinction between the fear of God and the fear for God. By fear of God, it implies that this fear is coming as an impartation from God. If I say the book of Dolapo, it means the book that belongs to Dolapo. So when we say something is the fear of God, it means it's a work of the Spirit. It's the Spirit of God that implants that fear of God in our hearts. And when you read Isaiah 11 from verse 2, it talks about the 7 spirits of God, and there is the spirit called the spirit of the fear of God. It is a work of the Spirit in us to make us in awe, to reverence God. And there is a lot of pollution, contamination, blemish in the church today. And the major reason is because there is no fear of God. Somebody is using church Wi-Fi to download porn. The name of the Wi-Fi is Jesus something. I'm not saying it's okay to download porn anywhere. But is the audacity for me that Jesus is your Wi-Fi, your boy. There's no fear of God. And a lot of people think that message is for old people. It's not. It's the word of God. People don't have fear of God. That fear of God, properly interpreted, I wish I had so much time, I would have shown you that God interprets fear as love. That fear of God is actually love. When God told Abraham in Genesis 22, maybe you should show that. Please look for that text for me where God told Abraham in Genesis 22 to offer Isaac. He says, the son that you love. I think it's verse 2. Genesis 22 verse 2. And he said, take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I shall tell you. So God is asking him to offer the child he loves. Go to verse 3. So Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled the donkey and took 2 of his servants, went with him and his son Isaac. So you can see here that immediately God said, I need your son, not Ishmael. Because Abraham quickly said, oh, come. The one that you love. And this is the first mention of love. So what God was asking for was what Jesus said, loved me more than this. God is saying, I gave you Isaac, as what I gave you collected you from me. He's demanding love from him. That's what God is asking for, love. And why am I explaining like this? Look at verse 12. You know, some of us, God blesses us, and what God used to bless us is what takes us away from him. He blesses you with a job, you say you don't have time anymore. That's what Adam did. Adam, why did you fall? It's your blessing that cost it. The woman you gave me. In other words, he's saying, if you hadn't given me, I won't be here. God's blessing. So look at the interpretation of that Genesis 2. God was saying, I know you love him, but do you love me more? And that's the entire point of fear of God. The fear of God is to collect from God and understand that it's God that gave you. Everything is a resource. Nothing is your source. Are you listening to me this afternoon? Everything is what? Only God is your source. Now, see how God interpreted that Genesis 22 verse 2 in Genesis 22 verse 12. 12. Now, I hope I'm correct with this 12. Text 12. So I didn't plan to say all this. Show verse 12. And he said, do not lay your hand on the lad or do anything to him. For now I know that you what? You see the substitution there? You fear me. So one of God's languages is all for him. The fear of God. There are a lot of people listening to me that you know that some people stole the fear of God from you through doctrine. They used the word of God that was not correctly interpreted to steal the fear of God from you. They told you that sin is weakness. Are you hearing me? You have to get your innocence back.